Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
Is Jefferson right that the pressure is on the Warriors?
Well, obviously, most of the pressure, I think, is on them. If they don't win Game 5, then the Cavaliers, I think, have a huge mental advantage. You know, I mean, that would be 5 straight elimination games or possible elimination games that the Warriors couldn't close. KD couldn't close last year. So all the pressure would be on them. But it's not, the Cavs are not devoid of pressure. And that's the blessing and the curse of having the best player in the world in the GOAT conversation, in the Mount Rushmore conversation, and being his teammates. So LeBron, like we talked about, does he get a pass if they lose? No, because I think the GOAT conversation ends. And then it becomes, instead of LeBron versus MJ, a lot of people are saying it's LeBron versus KD. Now, who's the best player in the world now? So LeBron will not get a pass if they lose. And then the teammates. If you're Kevin Love, there's pressure. Because if you don't deliver and you get beaten in 5 and you don't play well, you might be in Indiana or somewhere else next year because the Cavaliers are going to have to do something. And the rest of those guys, too, could be out of there. So I do think there's pressure on the Cavaliers as well. And let me just say this, too. Pressure in this regard, too. Game 4, if you're a Cavs fan, had to be a little bit bittersweet. Sweet, obviously, because of the victory. But you had to watch that game and say, where was this urgency, this physicality, this, hustling, getting on the floor? Even the adjustment they made to double team Steph and force Draymond to shoot threes. Where was all that in the first at least 2 games, if not 3?
Well, you saw a lot of it in 3. They were
3 they played, they could have won that.
They got up by 7.
Yeah.
But you had to feel, why are we in such a hole,
And then they passed the ball to Kevin Love right up under the basket and a chance to go up 8. And then
I thought he got fouled, but that's.
And not only do they not go up 8, Skip, they allow him to come down and hit a 3. So now instead of being up 8, it's a situation. But I totally agree with Richard Jefferson. Now, I think he could have validated his point, could have made his point without saying they added KD and we added Kyle Korver and Darren Williams. We get the gist of what all he had to do was say, hey, they added KD. We didn't add an MVP. He didn't have to call those guys out by name, but hey, we get the idea, Skip. Given the fact that they added KD, who blew a 3-1 lead to the Warriors team that he joined, and given the fact that the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead with 2 of the 3 games at home to wrap this thing up. So absolutely, because they're going to say, well, hold on. If you can't hold a 3-1 lead and a 3-0 lead, what am I missing? So now, if LeBron comes back, Chris Broussard, if LeBron comes back and he pulls this off, they got to widen the door. Because him and Michael Jordan walking in the same.
You better just get past Game 5
and
start that stuff.
I got nothing. Hold on, why is Richard Jefferson up there? They should have had that. It didn't have LeBron and Kyrie and this other. I don't know who taking Donut's place, but Richard Jefferson doesn't get a single by himself. Skip, I will call you about, what time the game come on tonight?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.? Oh, that'll be 6 o'clock. By about 8:30, Skip, I'm going to shoot you a text.
Okay.
See you
what are you going to say?
See you in Cleveland.
See you in Cleveland?
See you in Cleveland.
Okay.
We might have, hey, Skip, we might have to skip the U.S. Open, Skip.
We might have to. First of all, I love what Richard Jefferson said. I believe it because it was real talk and it was true talk and it was right on time talk. It was the equivalent of what I believe JR tweeted the other night and then had to retract because he said he got hacked, which is Cavs in 7. But I do believe, I get what you're saying about LeBron. As long as you have LeBron, you have some pressure.
Exactly.
I get that. But it feels like the weight of the NBA world has shifted onto Golden State's shoulders tonight because I do think they celebrated a little prematurely the other night because it just felt so over. That it felt like Cleveland was so demoralized not only as a city, but as a basketball team. And I did not expect them to pick themselves up off the psychological mat in time to do that. 137 to 116. 24-11 from the three-point line. It was a tour de force, man. And it looked like what I thought some games would look like with Cleveland, because I have high regard for LeBron and his basketball team. It's a really good basketball team. It didn't play very well down the stretch, But I don't have as high regard for Golden State as you were saying last week in Cleveland, because I still wonder how mentally and physically tough they really. I don't question the talent. It's extreme. It's extraordinary grouping of talent. If you want to just say on collection of talent, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this before, but they have to back it up. They have to prove it on the biggest stage against a legitimate team that beat them last year, again, without Kevin Durant. But I said before, they really have only one thing to show for themselves, and that's a cheap ring that they won 2 years ago. Again, no KD, but still, there was no Kyrie and no Kevin Love.
Yeah, right.
So now you got to show me, and now the momentum has swung so wildly that, to me, I'm not rooting for Cleveland as much tonight. I'm rooting for the NBA because I want to see a great finish to this. Because I do think it's been a great season. It has not been a great playoffs, mostly derailed by injuries on both sides or lack of competition in the Eastern side. But tonight, I'm rooting for a Cleveland victory just for the NBA's sake, because it would be sensational. It would be fun to come in here and talk about. My goodness, if it's going back to Cleveland,
And the
3-2.
I think we would almost, obviously Golden State could win 6 there, but we would almost be assured of a game 7 if Cleveland wins tonight.
Yeah. And Skip, the longer the series goes, you don't want anything to happen, but you never know. It was like that Super Bowl. The closer New England got to the Falcons, the more the doubt started
agree.
to creep in their mind, like, hold on. We just had a 28-3 lead. Now it's 28-6. It's 28-12. It's 28. It's 28.
then you just knew the sky falling.
Yeah.
So you get this game and you get
this is the one.
Yeah.
Tonight is the night. If it swings again back to Cleveland, I'm going to love this because it's going to get really interesting.
If Golden State closes them out tonight, will your questions about them end?
I got to see how they close them out. But again, maybe I'm picking with my heart tonight, but I got LeBron and Kyrie tonight. I don't know what you think, but I got LeBron keeping it close and Kyrie winning it. In a much more physical game, maybe it gets a little cheap, maybe it gets a little quote-unquote dirty, but that's the way Cleveland plays, and that's the way they beat them last year twice there.
Got to be physical.
Yeah, got to be really physical.
I don't know if this has ever happened, but this is in the last 2 games. Golden State won Game 3. They shot better from the 3 than they did the 2. Cleveland won Game 4. They shot better from the 3 than they did the 2. I don't know if that's ever happened before in NBA history.
No.
In back-to-back games, a team shoot better from 3 than they do from 2.
Yeah. The challenge for Cleveland, I can't imagine they're going to shoot as well or even close to as well from 3. So it's got to be on the defensive end. And as bad as the officiating was in Game 4, I like the feistiness and the chippiness.
I did too.
And all, you know what I mean? Like, it was almost like a throwback.
It was.
You see LeBron say, KD, crazy.
Why you talking
crazy? You talking crazy. See,
KD giving up 100 pounds.
No, but I mean, he got the Golden State, then all of a sudden he found his voice. He never talked LeBron like that at OKC.
Nice. He's
He done got his voice. LeBron said, KD, are you out your mind? I'm the king. There is none higher.